Welcome to the deep dive. If you ever feel like your emotional energy is just completely drained, this conversation is definitely for you.
Yeah, we're looking at the sources behind these two really simple words, but they promise something kind of radical.
They really do. Freedom. Freedom from that exhausting feeling of trying to manage, well, everyone. Their feelings, their opinions, what they do.
Exactly. We're diving into the let them theory. It's a framework, sure, but it really comes from, tough personal experience. And for you listening, we want to pull out the core of how this actually works.
Okay, so to really get this theory, you kind of need the backstory. Where did it even come from?
Right. The author was, truly at rock bottom. We're talking $800,000 in debt, unemployed at 41, watching her family's restaurant business just disappear.
Wow, that's intense pressure. And that led to her first big idea, didn't it? The 5-second rule.
Yeah, that countdown thing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Lyle. Force yourself into action before your brain talks you out of it. It was all about self-rescue.
Action is the answer. Nobody's coming to save you. That was the message.
Exactly. And it was powerful for changing her relationship with herself. But then came the next piece.
Because saving yourself isn't quite enough if you're still battling everything on the outside.
Right, precisely. The 5-second rule was internal, the let them theory. That's about your relationship with other people.
Getting free from all that noise, the judgment, the drama, other people's moods.
Yeah, all the stuff you can't actually control. The theory says, stop wasting energy there. Focus it back on the one thing you can control.
Which is?
Your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. That's it.
And it's important, this isn't just like giving up, it's about taking power back. The full thing is actually an equation, isn't it?
Yes, let them plus let me. That's the whole mechanism.
Okay, let's break that down. Why do we even try to control everything in the first place?
Well, it's wired into us, really. Control feels like safety, like comfort. So we spend our lives trying to please everyone, partners, bosses, family.
Bending ourselves into pretzels, trying to guess what they want.
Right. And the result? Usually burnout. And feeling so disappointed when, after all that work, someone still criticizes you or finds fault.
It's like you made yourself smaller, worked harder,
Yeah.
and the drama just keeps coming.
Yeah. So the origin story for Let Them, the sources say it came from this incredibly relatable moment. High school prom night. Her son, Oakley.
Oh, boy. Prom night. Always potential for chaos.
Totally. He had left everything to the last minute. The tux, these specific sneakers he had to have. Even the date situation was kind of last minute.
And the mom, she's trying to make it perfect, I bet.
Of course. She makes this beautiful custom corsage. Oakley rejects it flat out.
Ouch.
So she takes it anyway, drives over to the date's house, only to find the date's already wearing a different corsage she made herself.
Oh, man, that's just wasted effort distilled into one tiny floral moment.
And that wasn't even the main event. The real chaos hit later. You've got 20 kids, all dressed up, black tie, standing outside in the pouring rain.
Why?
No dinner reservations anywhere.
Yeah.
Hadn't made any.
20 kids in formal wear, no reservation, in the rain. What did they do?
They decided collectively to just go to the tiny local taco place, Amigos Taqueria. Basically a taco stand, dripping wet.
Okay, I can picture the parents freaking out.
Totally. Trying to call places, fix it. But then the author's daughter, Kendall, she just pulls her mom aside and says it.
Says what?
Mom, if Oakley and his friends want to go to a taco bar, let them. And then later, watching them head out into the rain, let them get soaked. Let them ruin the new sneakers.
Yeah, there it is. Let them.
That was it. That was the click. It wasn't about endorsing the chaos. It was about the mother stopping the micromanaging, letting go of the rain, the dinner choice, the shoes, things she couldn't control anyway.
And by doing that, she got her own peace back. She could actually just watch her son happy heading into the rain with his friends.
Exactly. She protected her peace. That's the core.
Okay, so that desire to control, it often comes up with strangers too, right? Like those daily annoyances. It feels like it's driven by anxiety sometimes.
Absolutely. Trying to control things you can't, like other people's behavior, just makes your own stress worse.
Think about the slow cashier when you're in a rush, or someone talking way too loud on their phone next to you. Why does that little thing feel so huge sometimes?
Because you're internalizing it. You're trying to force your preferred reality, faster checkout, quiet train car onto their actions.
The classic example they use is the airport, right? The plane scenario.
Oh, yeah. You're settled in, finally relaxing, and the person behind you just starts coughing, like openly coughing.
You feel that immediate spike, stress, irritation, maybe even a little fear these days.
Right. And you might glare, or maybe you even ask them politely to cover their mouth. but they just keep doing it.
And now your mood is shot. Your stress levels are through the roof. The whole flight is ruined before it even takes off.
And this isn't just you being grumpy. Stress is physiological. It actually hijacks your brain. Dr. Aditi Nurakar's research talks about this.
Okay, so what happens in the brain?
Normally, your prefrontal cortex is running the show. That's the smart part. Planning, patience, rational decisions.
The adult brain.
Kind of, yeah. But when that stress hits the coffer, the traffic jam, your brain switches to survival mode. And the prefrontal cortex basically goes offline temporarily.
So the primitive brain takes over. Fight or flight.
Exactly. That's why you suddenly can't be patient or think logically. You just want to react.
Okay, so how do we stop that hijacking? How do we hack it?
That's where the second part of the equation comes in. The let me.
Right. First, let them.
Yeah.
Let them cough. Let the line be slow. Let the traffic exist. Don't resist the reality.
Step one, then immediately you pivot. Let me. And the action is simple. Let me take another breath.
Just breathing? That's the hack.
It sounds simple, but it's scientifically validated. Taking a slow, deep breath stimulates your vagus nerve.
Okay, the vagus nerve. What is that?
It's like the main communication line between your brain and body. Stimulating it sends a signal back upstairs saying, hey, the threat isn't actually life or death. We can calm down now.
So it physically calms the stress response.
It resets your system. It brings the prefrontal cortex back online, which means you get to choose how to respond instead of just reacting.
No more rage texts or snapping at the slow cashier. You get control back over yourself.
Exactly. You stop the cycle before it spirals.
Okay, applying let them to strangers, traffic, I can see that. But what about people we're close to? Our family, our partners? That feels harder, especially when, emotions get involved.
It definitely is harder because letting other people's emotional reactions like guilt trips or disappointment or the silent treatment dictate your choices. That basically guarantees you always come last in your own life.
And adults can be surprisingly immature with emotions, can't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The sources talk about adults acting like 8-year-olds sometimes, pouting, silent treatment, maybe even a full-on verbal tantrum because they can't handle feeling uncomfortable.
So if someone gives me the silent treatment, if I just say let them, aren't I just letting them manipulate me? Like, where's the boundary?
That's the crucial distinction. You're not letting them manipulate you. You're letting them have their reaction while you control your response. The hack here is cognitive.
Okay.
You say, let them be silent. And then in your mind, you visualize them as like an actual 8-year-old child having a little tantrum inside their adult body.
Huh. Okay, I can see how that changes things.
Right. It shifts your feeling from fear or anger or obligation to compassion. You realize, okay, this isn't about me. This is about their struggle to process their feelings. It's their issue, not my responsibility to fix.
So you acknowledge their feeling without taking ownership of it.
Exactly. And remember, the research shows emotions are really quick, like these chemical bursts. They flare up and actually get absorbed by the body in about 6 seconds if you don't fuel them by reacting.
6 seconds? That's fast.
It is. If you can just let that wave rise and fall without engaging, the fire often just goes out on its own.
This connects to family stuff too, right? Understanding where people are coming from, even if you don't agree. The frame of reference idea.
Yes, perfectly. The author uses this powerful example about her own mother 30 years ago, strongly disapproving of her fiancé, Chris.
At the time, she probably just felt judged.
Totally. But later, applying this theory, she tried the let me part. Let me try to understand her frame of reference. Why did mom react that way?
And what did she find?
She realized her mother's own story involved getting married young, moving really far from her family, and raising kids basically alone, without support. That was her biggest regret, her deepest fear.
So she wasn't really judging the fiancé.
No, she was terrified her daughter would repeat that same painful, isolating experience. It wasn't judgment, it was grief and fear projected onto this situation, coming from a place of love, actually.
That's a huge shifting perspective, a game changer.
It really is. You let them have their opinion, their feeling, and you commit to let me understand their viewpoint, their history, their lens. It allows two different truths to exist at the same time, and that fosters connection, not conflict.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Comparison, that's another huge energy drain for so many people.
Oh yeah. The sources frame it really helpfully. Comparison can be either torture or a teacher.
Torture or teacher. Okay, what's the difference?
Comparison, as torture, is when you obsess over things you fundamentally cannot change. Fixed attributes.
Like what?
Natural beauty, how tall someone is, their metabolism, maybe some innate talent they were just born with. You can't change those things about yourself.
So staring at someone's perfect cheekbones is just torture.
Exactly. So for those things, you have to let them have it. Let them be beautiful, let them be tall. Spending energy there is pointless for your own growth. Just let it go.
But comparison as a teacher, that's different.
Completely different. This
Yeah.
is looking at success that's actionable, things people achieve through effort.
Like their job, their great habits, maybe their financial situation, or how they built a strong social life.
Yes, things that required steps, discipline, action. If someone has achieved something you want and it's actionable, you let them lead the way.
I so.
Their success is proof. Proof that the goal is possible and proof that their method works. They've basically given you the formula, the roadmap. You just need to study it and apply it.
That makes sense. Okay, how does this let me apply in, say, a career context? That's a big source of frustration for people.
Yeah, let's use the classic scenario. You're working hard, doing great stuff, but your boss, let's call him Steve, keeps dangling that promotion just out of reach. It's coming, it's coming.
But it never actually arrives. Super frustrating.
Totally. Now, you can't control Steve. You can't control the company budget or office politics or whatever reason he's not promoting you.
Right. Trying to force Steve's hand is probably futile.
Exactly. So, step one, let them string you along. Except you can't control that outcome directly. But then, immediately pivot.
To the let me.
Yes, let me take responsibility for my own career. Stop fixating on Steve and what he should do. Focus 100% on what you can do.
Like what? Updating your resume?
Updating the resume, actively networking inside and outside the company, setting up informational interviews, looking for lateral moves that might offer growth, or, deciding it's time to jump ship and find a place that will value you.
So you shift all that frustrated energy into proactive steps that you control.
That's the power. You take back control of your trajectory.
Okay, one last area that comes up a lot. Friendships. Especially adult friendships. They change so much.
Oh, definitely. The sources talk about the great scattering that often happens after your 20s.
Yeah.
Friendship kind of stops being a group sport, It becomes more individual.
And that structure that kept everyone together, college, first jobs, maybe shared housing, disappears.
Right. And friendships, fundamentally, rely on what the sources call the 3 pillars.
3 pillars. Okay, what are they?
Proximity, just being physically near each other. Timing, being in similar life phases, like you're both single or both have toddlers or both retired. And energy, the mutual effort needed to keep the connection going.
And when those pillars shift, which they inevitably do,
friendships naturally fade or change. Someone moves for a job, proximity gone. Someone has a baby, and their timing and energy completely shift. It's usually not personal, it's logistics.
So again, let them move away. Let them focus on their new baby or new friends. Don't take the natural drift personally.
Exactly. But the let me part here is crucial, especially if you're feeling lonely.
What's the action?
Loneliness requires cultivating the habit of going first.
Going first, what does that mean?
It means you have to be the one to initiate. You can't wait for proximity, timing, and energy to magically align anymore, like maybe they did in school.
Okay.
You have to proactively build your own social scaffolding.
So be the one to reach out.
Be the one to reach out. Be the one to give a compliment first. Ask someone a curious question. Smile and say hello to people in your neighborhood or at work.
The author talks about doing this herself, right? Feeling lonely in a new town.
Yeah, in her 50s. Feeling scared and isolated. And her daughters basically had to push her to do it, to walk up to an acquaintance's door, this woman, Mia, and just knock.
That takes courage, just knocking on someone's door.
It does. But that decision, that act of going first, even when it feels awkward or scary, that's how you build connection. Let me be the one to initiate. It turns that potential embarrassment into the start of something new. You have to go first.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up, this let them theory, it's really a 2-part system for, liberation.
It really is. Let them helps you release that heavy burden of trying to control the uncontrollable, resisting reality.
And let me focuses all that recovered energy back onto yourself, onto your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, the things you can actually shape.
And the cost of not doing this, it's huge, really. Wasting energy fighting things you can't change. Letting tiny frustrations hijack your whole day through that stress response. Staying stuck because you're waiting for someone else's opinion or permission.
It's an invitation, isn't it? To take back full responsibility for your own happiness, your own life path.
Absolutely. It's not about letting people off the hook for behaving badly, necessarily. It's about demanding more from yourself, more focus, more intention, more peace.
So for you listening, what does this mean? It really feels like an invitation to step into your let me era.
Yeah, an era that's defined by your action, your intention, your self-focus. Releasing the burden of everyone else's stuff frees you up to build your own life.
The only question left then is, where are you going to focus all that power now?